Hey guys, Yuliya here. So today I'm going to be doing some soil testing in my garden, and soil testing is one of those less glamorous tasks in the garden, but it is incredibly important. And I compare soil testing kind of like blood tests for a person. So let's say an individual doesn't feel really well, they go to the doctor takes a blood test, and then they find out that they're deficient in some sort of vitamin. They take a supplement of that vitamin and they feel so much better. The same with soil testing. You take a soil test from your garden, you send it out to the lab, they will determine any nutrient deficiencies, pH levels, and they will make recommendations on what you have to add to your soil to make your garden and your plants much healthier. Now, there are a number of ways you can test your soil, and the best way is to send it to your local cooperative extension. However, we live in the really challenging times right now where places like that are closed. And from my personal experience, a lot of the commercial soil tests are not as reliable as the ones that you will send to universities. However, I found this one test that was recommended by a lot of gardeners, that they had a lot of good experiences with it. So that's what I'm going to be checking out today. But to talk about the soil testing a little bit further, it is actually required that you test your soil every couple of years. And in your garden, you actually test your soil in different areas where you would like your soil improved. So let's say lawn will be tested separately from your ornamental gardens, and your vegetable gardens will be tested separately as well, because you treat those areas differently. There's different fertilizing schedule, there's different mulching schedule. So the nutrient that you have in those separate types of gardens are totally different. So today I'm going to try this Soil Savvy test kit, and I cannot attest as for the quality of this test, no pun intended, because I would always send my soil samples to Rutgers University, and of course I cannot do it now, so I am really curious to see how this one works. Anyway, it comes with instructions here, with a little plastic scoop here, and some sort of solution. So what you do, you take your soil samples, you mix them up, and you use this little scoop, you put it in here, and you mail it, and then you will have your results from 7 to 10 days. So soil sampling is a fairly simple process. However, there are some things that I think should be mentioned. So a lot of times people think that I just go out there in the lawn or ornamental garden or your vegetable garden and I take one soil sample. So that's not actually the case. You have to take anywhere from 10 to 20 soil samples from the area that you want to test to make sure that you have an accurate representation. And you have to make sure that it is free of mulch and roots and rocks, and they have to be anywhere from 4 to 6 inches deep and about 2 inches wide. You can use, can I have that? Michael's helping me today. So I am going to use the Pro Plugger because that is actually a perfect tool to take soil testing. But you can also use, can I have that little shovel please? Just a shovel, and you just have to make sure that your shovel is clean, and which is mine is not, and that you take that representative soil core where you have about 4 to 6 inches of your soil, because a lot of times the top layer is full of organic matter, and the deeper you go, the less organic matter you have, and that really skews the results. Anyway, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to test my cherry garden soil today because I'm a little bit worried about the quality of soil here. I had elephant ears here last year. They did not perform that well, and I'm not sure why. So I'm just curious as for the organic matter that I have here and other elements as well. So let me get started. All right, now that I have my cores, I have to mix them up really well and break them up really well. And actually, something I forgot to mention is your soil cannot be too wet or too dry. So right now, this time of year, or this time of spring, is actually perfect to collect your soil samples. And make sure if you see like big chunks of mulch or roots, you just remove them. All right, so the soil is thoroughly mixed, and now I'm going to take the scoop and open the container. It has some sort of solution. I think it may be water. Usually is water. And I take the scoop. This is my representative soil sample, and I'll place it in the container with the water or whatever the solution is here, and close it tight. Done. And there is a little envelope provided. All I have to do is put it in the envelope and mail it. So super exciting. I am very anxious to see about the soil quality here. And a lot of places not only will give you the pH and all the nutrients that you have in your soil, but they also have some more complex soil testing. Like they could tell you if you have some heavy metals. So let's say if you're deciding to start a vegetable garden, it's a pretty good idea to test your soil. It's a pretty good idea to test your soil in any case, whenever you're starting a garden or you have an existing garden, and if you have some problems with your plants, you see some yellowing of leaves, you see stunted growth, definitely test your soil. I cannot emphasize that enough. Anyway, I hope this was fun to see, and as per usual, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I would love to stay in touch with you, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye. Is unglamorous a word? No, not glamorous.
You're not glamorous?
No, the procedure is not glamorous.
Just say.
I can't. What is going on? Commercial soil. Take area. Talked about that. This thing is sliding. Ooh, I forgot the actual soil test. There's a box in the kitchen. Thank you.
The sun is setting on your face.
Oh, thank you.